Good morning and welcome to Fast Track Specialties. Today we are going to talk about JSAs and how to properly complete one.
A JSA, or Job Safety Analysis, is very important to Fast Track in the entire construction industry. Its basic goal is to help plan the task at hand for the day and execute in the safest way possible.
A JSA is not only required by our customer in OSHA, but by Fast Track's safety policy. It is a vital tool that allows us to survey the job site conditions, list out the step-by-step procedures of that day's task, recognizes the safety hazards, and discuss what can be done to reduce the risk of hazard prior to them happening.
With this in mind, the main objective of a JSA is to plan the work. The JSA should be filled out, reviewed, discussed, and signed off prior to any work being performed on a project. If you're working on multiple projects during the day, then one JSA should be filled out for each project. Remember, plan the work, then work the plan.
The first thing you should do upon arriving to the project is survey the job site conditions. Assess your path for unloading. Is it a clear path, free of trip hazards? Can you roll the dolly cleanly without tipping the load? Also, observe the work that is going on around the area you are assessing. Lockout, tagout, cranes, heavy equipment, fall hazards, or anything you might see that may present a safety hazard. These hazards should be noted on your JSA and discussed.
After surveying the job site conditions, plan out the work. Are there ladders involved? Are there special tools involved? Have tools been inspected? Are workers qualified to operate the tools required? Once again, these hazards should be noted and discussed on the JSA. Fast Track's JSAs are a part of the work order and daily report. The JSA is located on the bottom half of the work order.
The first part of the JSA is the development team. This is the person or persons who authored the JSA and is usually filled out by the foreman.
The second part, or the reviewed by, should be filled out, signed, and dated by all workers of the crew that participated in the review process of the JSA. Remember, signatures and dates are very important in this area.
The next part is an area that has been designated for the contractor's signature and the employee's signature. Although the contractor is not always available for a signature, it does not relieve you of finishing the JSA. It is important for the foreman to sign and date the employee portion of the JSA.
The next portion of the JSA is for PPE, or Personal Protective Equipment. It is Fast Track's policy that hard hats, safety glasses, and reflective vests are worn at all times on every project. Any other specific PPE that is required for a particular task should be listed and discussed during the review.
The last part is the job steps, potential hazards, and critical action to mitigate. The steps should be detailed. Number 1, unload the truck. Number 2, drill, hang partitions. Number 3, clean up. Number 4, load truck or whatever consists of the task at hand. This should be followed by the potential hazards involved in each step.
Once you have identified the steps and the potential hazards, the next step is probably the most important. Critical action to mitigate. Ask yourself or your crew, what can we do to minimize the potential hazard? Number 1, proper lifting techniques. Number 2, special gloves. Number 3, face shields, and so forth. These should all be listed and discussed on the JSA. If more room is needed, feel free to use the back of the paper or an additional sheet if required.
Once the JSA has been completed, the next step is to gather all crew members together and go over the entire JSA. Make sure that all members understand the steps, and the action to mitigate. Once everyone is clear, all members should sign and date the JSA.
A copy of the JSA should be with the crew at all times. If anyone asks any crew member for their JSA, the crew member should be able to produce a copy immediately.
Some clients require us to fill out their JSA and turn in prior to work. We do not expect you to complete 2 before you start work. However, you are still expected to have a copy of the JSA at all times.
If you're on a project that has their own JSA, you are required to use it. If not, use Fast Track's JSA form. If you use the back of the JSA, make sure to turn in that page in as well.
Finally, at the end of the day, the JSA should be sent to Fast Track along with your daily report.
If you're on a project that requires specific
shit.
Alright, serious.
And ready, go.
You didn't hit it, you had it going the whole time.
Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to Fast Track Specialties. Good morning and welcome to Fast Track.
Oh my.
I'm not actually filling this out, or should I be?
No, that's alright.
Well, I'm holding this.
Does that make sense? Or is that too wordy? If you are on a project that requires a specific...
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking specific shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Am I moving back and forth?
Back and forth, back and forth.
If you are on a project that is shit.